Welcome back to Talking Elvis. I would like to continue with the little series of FTD session releases. We have covered Funny Acapulco, Harum Scarum, and also Elvis is Back. Today we'll take a look at Girl Happy. Music-wise, I have an original UK album from 1965. I think it might be red dot label. Let's see. Yeah, RCA red dot. I have said it before, but the old cardboard smell. I mean, amazingly, it's 60 years old, this album. So that is the LP. I have the FTD, Girl Happy, which is just the one disc. And I also have the 3 CD set of the Girl Happy Sessions. Nice cover. Comes, of course, with the booklet and 3 CDs. Elvis completed the Roustabout soundtrack in March of 1964, and in May he did a vocal overdub on the song Roustabout. On the 10th of June, he's back at RCA Studios in Hollywood to record the soundtrack of his next movie, Girl Happy. The Girl Happy album and movie has always been a bit of a fan favourite. We discussed it with Jeremy Clafferty when we talked about Elvis's films. Jerry had pointed out that the story was quite fun and that Elvis had a good supporting cast. In fact, the music critics were quite gentle on Elvis. Overall, it didn't get bad reviews at all. But I have never liked it. Musically, for me, it was a step back. It was a step back to almost as bad as Kissing Cousins. Roustabout had been so much better. A better movie, better soundtrack, some good songs, Little Egypt, for example. And I've always liked Big Love, Big Heartache. I honestly don't get the fan enthusiasm on the movie. A few of my friends really like it. I have never really liked it. The best thing about the film is Shelley Fabares. Elvis looks like Elvis, but I find that, he talks too fast. A lot of scenes in the film, he's talking really fast. And I think the big letdown for me is the music. There is nothing wrong with Elvis's voice on this album. The problem is that he's barely using it. Elvis completed filming Roustabout on the 20th of April, and on the very same day, a newspaper called the Las Vegas Desert News published a story on how Hal Wallace, Elvis's movie producer, was using the money, the profit generated from Elvis films to fund other movies. I.e., rather than give a better script to Elvis, it was used for other projects. In this case, the movie Beckett with Richard Burton and Peter O'Toole. We touched on this on a previous video. Elvis did read, or at the very least, heard about the article, and he was deeply hurt. In fact, it's something Elvis would bring up with those close to him from time to time for the rest of his life. Any opinion, of course, is just my own, but for me, this is the point where Elvis sort of gave up. Some may say that Elvis just became lazy around this time. I personally feel that he just gave up and he didn't know how to get out of the situation. He was obligated in the contracts, and as we know, Elvis did take these obligations seriously. It is an interesting time. Jerry and I also talked about when Elvis said in 1972 that he always hoped that they would give him something better. Jerry made the point of why was Elvis waiting for somebody to give him something better? Surely he should have stood up for himself. Regardless, it is what it is and we have what we have. And my honest feeling on the soundtrack album is that Elvis is just simply going through the motions. Totally despondent on the 30th of April 1964, Elvis met Larry Geller for the very first time. It would intensify Elvis's spiritual quest or journey or search, which would continue for the rest of his life. When Elvis shows up at Paramount on the 1st of May, as promised, Larry Geller is there to give Elvis some books. One of them would become one of Elvis's all-time favorites. It was called The Impersonal Life. I am going to go through the songs on the album in the order of which Elvis recorded them. And we start on Wednesday, the 10th of June 1964, in a session that would run until 3 a.m. Elvis gets down 3 masters. The first song is Puppet on a String. There are 11 takes, and take 11 is the master.
Every time you look at me, I'm as helpless as can be. I become damn.
Still rolling?
It's one of those keys in between it, you know.
Sound good.
It's not higher than
2001, take 7.
The movie version is slightly different and has an overdubbed piano at the end. The song reminds me of the Camden albums that we used to get in the 1970s. Poor sound quality. And listening to Girl Happy again with headphones on over the last couple of days, the production is really quite poor. The engineer is Dave Weichman. Elvis is comfortable throughout the whole song, but he's just so unchallenged, and I find it to be disappointing. The next song up that evening is The Meanest Girl in Town. There are 13 takes of the song. 13 is the master. Listening to it, I can tell that Elvis is reading the lyrics. Personally, I really dislike the frenetic speed of the musicians, but I do think that Elvis is very good vocally, especially given such a weak song. As poor as the song is, it might actually be Elvis's best vocal on the album.
Ain't no doubt about it, she's the meanest girl in town.
Yes, she's diva. Yes, she's diva.
She'll invite you over to her house at 9:30. You'll wear a suit, you'll wear a tie, you'll give your shoes a shine. You'll take a real deep breath, you'll knock upon the door. Her little sister will tell you she don't live here anymore. I said she's diva.
Yes, she's diva. Yes, she's diva. Yes, she's diva. Yes, she's diva.
Ain't no doubt about it, she's the meanest girl in town.
Yes, she's diva. Yes, she's
The third and final song that evening is the title track, Girl Happy. Again, there are 13 takes, and as we know now, the song was speeded up. And although it might not be the best vocal on the album, I would say that Girl Happy along with Do the Clam are the two best songs. If I remember correctly, we first heard the proper slow version on the Collector's Gold box set. I believe it was take number 4.
2003, take 4.
Every girl I see looks good to me. What a crazy way I'd wait to be. I love a life with nothing but beautiful women. Well, I'm girl happy. Well, I'm girl happy. Girl happy. Can't you see? Girl happy. Girl happy.
No question the song is cheesy, but it's catchy and even can be uplifting. The next evening on the 11th of June from 7 p.m. until 5 a.m. this time, they get down 5 masters. Although the last 2 songs which were recorded are instrumental, Elvis would put his vocal down on the 15th of June. The first song that evening is Cross My Heart on Hope to Die. I hate to use the word crap, but I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. It is not a good song. The sad thing about it is Elvis actually sings it well. Elvis goes through 11 takes of the song, and the master is a splice between take 11 and take 7. Spring Fever is next. Blossoms on the trees stir up the honeybees. Really? This is what it has come to. The song works in the movie, despite the terrible fake background. And it works because of the 2 scenes, the guys in one car and the girls in the other. After take 18 of the song, Elvis is asked if he could sound a little bit happier. I assume this is from the engineer, Dave Weichman.
It should be a little happier too. You're thinking of other things.
Do Not Disturb is next, and it's well known that Elvis had a tremendous amount of difficulty with this song, and I'm not sure why, but there are 36 takes of Do Not Disturb. He just can't get it right. He sounds extremely bored and he's not engaging at all. By take 35, he sounds as though he's about to fall asleep. The master is the final take 36.
I'll just pull down.
Maybe it's easier to go back to the original line. What do you think?
I'll just pull down the. No, sir, it's not that. It's just. I'll just pull down the blind. Pull down the blind. That is undoubtedly the weirdest goddamn chords anything come back in there ever tangle with in my life, man. I'll beat the hell out of it if it takes 94 years of hard labor. Come back, get into the picture and record it for hours.
I Gotta Find My Baby is next, and I think this is horrible. And I honestly sense that Elvis feels exactly the same way. He's in tune, as always, but it's lazy. He clearly does not believe in the song. The Girl Happy Sessions box set actually has some unedited lacquers. We can hear, in some cases, longer intros and also extra verses.
You gotta find my baby. There ain't much time, she's gonna drive me crazy. Run out of my mind, gotta get her back where she belongs. 'Cause I ain't had no loving. Hey, 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 the baby's been gone.
There are 2 takes of I Gotta Find My Baby. Take number 1 is in a higher tone and take 2 lower. Take 2 is the master, and that was a vocal overdub which Elvis did on the 15th of June. Next is Fort Lauderdale Chamber of Commerce.
Courtesy of the Fort Lauderdale Chamber of Commerce.
And as Elvis would describe it himself, very much a situation song. A song for the situation in the movie. It has absolutely no merit on its own. It lasts for 1 minute and 32 seconds. Again, this is the vocal overdub on the 15th of June and take number 7 is the master. On the 12th of June, Elvis is so disheartened by the material, he doesn't show up for the session. The band wait for him, but he doesn't come. Tracks are recorded for Elvis to put his vocal down later on Starting Tonight, Do the Clam, and Wolf Call. Elvis doesn't go back until the 15th of June. Meanwhile, Colonel is trying to keep Elvis upbeat and encourage him, saying that he has entered into talks about a possible television series based on the movie Kissing Cousins. On the 15th of June in the afternoon from 2 p.m. until 6 p.m, Elvis goes back and puts the vocal on the tracks. He also records a new vocal on the song I Feel That I've Known You Forever for the upcoming movie Tickle Me. So he's overdubbing Starting Tonight. He sings the song the same way as he sings Do the Clam. And he actually holds some very good notes. Listening to it again, I really acknowledge the poor mastering production of this album. When you listen to Do the Clam, at 2.5 minutes, the right channel just completely drops out after the Jordanaires' vocal. All we hear in the left ear are the musicians, most notable being Boots Randolph on the saxophone. Elvis comes back at 2 minutes and 23 seconds in your right ear. It's quite strange. Again, I find the musicians, the music to be really frenetic. Elvis is very decent though, and as I said, arguably the best song on the album.
Hey, everybody gather around and listen to that bongo sound. Grab the first one in your reach. Now we're gonna shake the beach. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do the clam, do the clam. Grab your barefoot baby by the hand. Turn and tease, hug and squeeze. Dig right in and do the clam.
Next is Wolf Call. Everything about this song is horrible. The guitar solo sounds so high-pitched and tinny. It's really a nothing burger for me, this song. Flip flop with Kai, what a cutie pie I see. The saving grace on the Sessions box set are the lacquers, where you hear things that we hadn't heard before. The original album of Girl Happy has one bonus song, You'll Be Gone, which hadn't been released prior and was recorded in March 1962. Elvis said himself that he liked songs with a Latin feel, and that's exactly what this song is. It's not on the Sessions, but I'm mentioning it because it was part of the original album. I don't particularly like it, but it's his own thing, you know. Written by Red West, Elvis Presley and Charlie Hodge. There's far too much echo on Elvis's voice for me, but he does approach this song with enthusiasm. The 3 CD session set does include the instrumental tracks without Elvis's vocal. Do the Clam was released as a single with You'll Be Gone on the B-side, released on the 9th of February 1965. It reached number 21 on the US Billboard chart and number 19 in the UK. Interestingly, here in Southeast Asia, it gets to number 1 in Malaysia and also number 1 in Singapore. The album Girl Happy is released 1 month later, reaching number 8 in the US and number 3 in the UK. It's certified gold in 1999. For the Girl Happy movie, Elvis received $500,000 plus 50% of the profits. Perhaps it says something that following this recording, it would be 8 months before Elvis would step back into a recording studio. As you know, the next movie, Tickle Me, just included previously released songs. It might be a bit of a fan favorite, but I think extremely disappointing for Elvis. As soon as the filming was complete, he went straight back to Graceland, spending most of his time upstairs in his room with his books. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.